Hey guys, it's Michael from Rooplay here, and today we are going to be playing Mr. Men Letter Tracing. As you guys know, this game is available on the Rooplay app, which is your one-stop app for hundreds of fun educational games. If you guys want to check it out yourself, feel free to click in the description box below for the link. Now, before we get started, I do have a quick question to ask everybody. The Mr. Men Little Miss characters are beloved by so many people. My mom loves them from generation to generation. So my question is, who is your favorite Mr. Men Little Miss character? Mine's actually going to be showing up within the video in a while. So I'll let you know who mine is when they appear, but let me know who your favorite is. Now with Mr. Men Letter Tracing, it's a game where if you're trying to learn your ABCs, it is a great way to learn how to write each letter, as well as hear how each of them are said. There's 26 letters of the alphabet, so there's lots to remember, so this game will be very helpful for that. And you can learn both the uppercase and the lowercase letters. As you can see here, I can choose a mode. So we'll start off with doing the uppercase, and then after we'll do the lowercase letters. So I'll click on the uppercase letters right here. And like I said before, there is 26 letters in the alphabet, which is a lot of numbers. It's a lot of letters. And we'll get started with the first letter of the alphabet, which is the letter A. Great, so that's the letter A. So as you can see here, there's a hand that shows you how to write letter A. So I'll follow that line right now, and you can see Mr. Bump is right beside the letter A. Mr. Bump's like kind of a clumsy character. He always falls or gets hurt. It's very unfortunate. So the letter A, I'm just gonna follow the hand gesturing me. So I'm gonna go like this, and you do it on the other side, and then do a little line to connect them. There we go, that's the letter A.
Apple.
And A is for apple, which is a fruit.
B.
B, and that's Mr. Tickle right beside the letter B. Mr. Tickle has lots of, he has really long arms. He's very swiggly. So B, so like I said, we're going to follow the prompt again, follow the arrow. So we're going to move this little thing down, and then we're going to do kind of like the number 3, if you guys know number 3, just right beside it. So just like this, like that, and then make our way back around again. Just like that. That's the letter B.
Biscuit.
And B stands for biscuit, which I love to eat.
C.
Biscuits are yummy. C, now you can't see it, but that's actually Mr. Tall. So where Mr. Tickle had really long arms, Mr. Tall has really long legs. And really fashionable shoes, actually. So C is kind of like a half circle. Well, not half, but almost completed circle. So I'm just going to follow the arrow again. So just like that. So we're going to make our way around. That is the letter C. And C stands for cake, which I love to eat at parties and birthday parties. D, and that's Little Miss Hug, and she loves to hug people. She's a very cute character. So D, so again, following the prompt again, you just make that line down like this, and kind of like a C from what we learned before, but like backwards. So I'm just gonna follow this line, just complete this D, and that's the letter D. And D is for Daisy, which you can see that was on Little Miss Hug's head on her on the two sides there. So letter E, and that's Mr. Strong. He is a great character. He's very, very powerful and strong. He can probably lift me over my head. So letter E, so following this arrow again, I'm going to stroke down like this, and it looks like there's 3 lines that connects this one line. So I'm just going to just do like that, and go like this, and then this last bottom line here, just like that. That's the letter E. And E stands for eggs, which I love to eat in the morning.
F.
The letter F, so that's Mr. Happy, who is feels very joyful right now, which is good. So letter F, it's similar to the letter E, except that there's no bottom line at the bottom, so it's just only 2 lines. So I'm gonna just go like this, and then the line on top, that's number 1, the line in the middle, number 2. That's the letter F.
Flower.
And F stands for flower.
G.
Great, letter G. That's Little Miss Tiny. She is very small. I mean, she looks like she's proportionate to the house that's right behind her, but she is very, very small. So G, so similar to the letter C, like before. So we're just gonna do almost a circle, but then we're gonna make our way up like this, and then go backwards a little bit, just like that. So that's the letter G. And
Grass.
G stands for grass, and there's a ladybug on there too. Cute. H, that's Mr. Grumpy, but he doesn't look very grumpy here. He looks like he's up to something, actually. I wonder what Mr. Grumpy is up to. H, so H is kind of, it's essentially 3 lines connected together. So you do one line like this, just stroke down, and then you go on the other side, stroke down again, and then you do the middle line that connects both of them. There you go, that is the letter H. And H stands for hats, which is the hat Mr. Grumpy's wearing. I, that's Little Miss Bad. She is also up to something. Maybe her and Mr. Grumpy are plotting to do something, I don't know. But she looks like she's up to no good. So the I, similar to the letter H, but kind of sideways, but also a little bit shorter in the lines. So what you do is you just follow this prompt here. You just draw this line down like this, and the mini line on top, and then the mini line on the bottom. That's the letter I. And I stands for ink, which is what you have in pens to draw things with, or markers. That's ink. So the letter J, that's Mr. Cool. He looks pretty cool, actually. He has a big smile on his face. Looks like he is A-okay. So letter J, so we'll just follow this little prompt here. So there's a little bit of a tail at the bottom here, if you see it. So it kind of goes down, and then like goes up a bit. So I'll just follow that, and then a little line on top, and that's the letter J. And J stands for jet, which is, if you guys don't know what jet is, jet's kind of like an airplane, but like zooms really fast up in the air. I've never been in a jet, but maybe one day. That's Mr. Silly. And the letter K, it's actually a very odd looking letter now that I look at it. So you just do one stroke down like this, and then kind of a diagonal line going into that line, and then one final line just right above it. Or right below it, sorry. And that's the letter K.
King.
And K stands for king. And kings kind of rule the kingdom. Also, queens can also rule the kingdom too. There's a queen right now. So yeah, king. That is a Little Miss Shy, who looks really bashful right now. She's adorable. Actually, I would help her be less shy. Help her come out of her shell or something. So letter L, very simple letter actually. So you just draw a line down like this, and then you draw a line going the other way, just like this. And that's the letter L. And L stands for letter, which isn't that common nowadays, now that I think about it, just because we have lots of digital emails. But back in the day, letters were very common. You'd send a message to a friend, write a letter, and it gets mailed from the post office. Very cool stuff. Next up here is M, and that's a Little Miss Princess beside the letter M, who looks very royal. So the M, it's lots of lines in the letter M. My name is Michael, starts with the letter M as well, so I learned how to write the letter M at a very early age of my life. So you just do one line down like this, and then you kind of do another line, but kind of sideways to it, like this. You go back up the other way, and then you go back down. It's like a little wave.
Milk.
And M stands for milk, which helps your bones grow. That's a good thing to have. And that's a Little Miss Chatterbox. Looks like she's about to talk your ear off. Right there. Oh, I like her shoes too. These Little Men, Mr. Men, Little Miss characters have fashionable shoes. So letter N is very similar to the M, but so you do one stroke down like this, and then you kind of go diagonal again, and you just go up. Boop, boop, boop. So that's the letter N. And that N stands for notebook. Notebooks are what you write notes in, hence notebook. You can also doodle in them. You usually have them in school. That's a notebook. O, that's Mr. Funny. He looks like he's laughing at his own joke or something. Mr. Funny. And he also has cool shoes as well. Oh, and there's a little cute flower on his hat. Yeah, cool. So letter O, very simple. Very simple. So it's just like a circle. So you just kind of make your way around and close the loop. That's letter O. I'll just do that right now. O.
Orange.
And O stands for orange, which is a very good fruit. Not my favorite fruit, but I enjoy it occasionally on a summer's day. P, that's a Little Miss Sunshine, who is one of my favorite characters, not my total favorite. But she's adorable. Like she's like winking, waving at everybody. She is always so full of light. So the letter P, you just do one stroke down, and then you kind of do like a little cup holder kind of shape. Here it is. And that's the letter P.
Pen.
And P stands for pen, which you put
Q.
ink in to write with. Ink, like the letter I, if you guys have a good memory. Q, that's Little Miss Curious. Looks like she's about to go ask somebody a question, because she's always very curious about things, of why is this, and who is doing what? Why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? I don't know, Miss Curious. I wish I knew. So the letter Q. So a Q is very similar to an O. As you can see here, you just draw a loop like this, and it has like a little leg at the bottom here. So you just draw this letter here, and that's the letter O.
Question.
And O stands for question, like what Little Miss Curious likes to ask. Lots of questions, because she's so curious. R, that is Little Miss Giggles. She doesn't look like she's giggling right now, but she's super happy, which is good. Has her red hair, starts with an R. So an R is actually very similar to a P. So you draw the line at the bottom again, and then you kind of draw that hook, that little cup holder kind of shape, like this. And then it has a little line at the bottom here at the bottom, kind of similar to a Q. It has a little leg at the bottom, so that is the letter R. And R stands for ribbon. And it looks like Little Miss Giggles has 2 on her head right there. S, that is Little Miss Naughty. She doesn't look that naughty right now. She looks very happy right now. Maybe she's taking a break or something. So an S, it's kind of like a little wavy line. So we'll just follow this this arrow here. So we're gonna go like this, all the way down. And we're gonna go back up a bit, and that's the letter S.
Stick.
And S stands for stick, which you find in trees and stuff like that. That's the letter S. Next up is T, and this is my favorite character. It's Mr. Greedy. He's just such a cool character. He's always so happy, always eating all the time. Although greedy is very bad, you should not be greedy. You should be very sharing with your friends and family and colleagues. But Mr. Greedy just can't help it. He's just so happy all the time and greedy. So T, so you just draw one line down at the bottom here. So similar to the letter I, just without the bottom little line there. So you just do one line like this, and then a line on top. That is the letter T. And T
Toast.
stands for toast, which if you guys haven't had toast before, it's like bread, but you put it in a toaster, toaster, and then it burns the bread and cooks the bread and makes it kind of crispy. You put like jam and peanut butter, whatever you like on it. It's really good. U, that's a Little Miss Stubborn, and it looks like she is she's not willing to have it any other way but hers. That's what stubborn means, is when you can't you only want your way. It's either your way or the highway, which is not very good. And it looks like she's her arms are crossed like that. It's crazy. So U is kind of like a C but sideways. It's kind of like almost an oval. So, but just not complete. So I'll just follow the prompt again. So it's just like this, and you make your way up. That's the letter U. And a U stands for unicorn, which, if you guys know, is a mythical creature with a horn on his head. One horn, unicorn. It's cool. Next up is Mr. Messy. And I love the design of Mr. Messy. He looks really funny with all his squiggly lines. A V is similar to a U, except instead of like a curve, there is a point. So here you go. I'm going to just follow this line here. So we're going to go down and then just go back up. That is a V. And V stands for van, which drives people. Well, people drive the van, but it holds people, holds things, holds items, products. It's a big car, essentially. It's a van. Next is W. That's Mr. Mischief, and it looks like he is getting away with something. He did something very mischievous, I'm sure, and he's just running away right now to see what unfolds. So a W is very similar to an M, but upside down. So we just go follow this line here, go down, we go back up, we go back down, and then we go back up. So that's a W.
Wizard.
And W stands for wizard, which is, if you guys don't know what a wizard is, it's like a magical human that can cast spells and magic, just like maybe with a wand or something like that. It's pretty cool. X, that's Little Miss Scary, and to be honest, she's a little scary. Like, I wouldn't want to be on Little Miss Scary's bad side. I don't think. I would just always be like, hey, yeah, Little Miss Scary, you can have my lunch, it's fine. So an X is just a cross. So it's just like cross, like that. So I'm just gonna draw one like this, and then one line across it. X. And what letter is the letter X, or what item?
Xylophone.
It's a xylophone. A xylophone is an instrument where you can hit each little piece, and then a little different sound comes up. It's very cool. Y, that's Mr. Daydream. He's always just dreaming about something when he's supposed to be not dozing off. So letter Y, you just do one stroke from the left going down, then the other way. So it's kind of like a small V, and then you just make your way down. There you go. That's the letter Y. And Y stands for Yellow Canary. So a yellow canary is a canary. A canary is a bird, but it's just the yellow color. And Y is for yellow. Last letter of the alphabet, it is the letter Z or Z, depending on where you are. And that's Mr. Clever. Looks like he is very happy right now. And clever means that you're very quick-witted, and you can come up with answers really quick for things, and you're just sharp. That's what clever means, Mr. Clever. So Z, I'm just gonna follow this prompt here. So you're gonna do one line like this, and then do a diagonal line down like that, and then one more line at the bottom. There you go.
Zucchini.
And Z or Z is for zucchini. So that's the uppercase letters we just all finished. Now let's go into the lowercase letters. So similarly, they're kind of similar characters. So let's go with the letter A. So we're probably going to see all the same characters again, which is fine. We're trying to learn how to write each of our ABCs, D, E, F, G, and onwards. So what we did before were the uppercase letters. Now it's going to be the lowercase letters. So this is the lowercase letter A. So it's kind of like a half circle, and then you kind of do one line down. So we'll just follow this this design here. So we'll just do like this, follow the hand, and then we just make our way down with that. That's the letter A. And I think A stands for apple.
Apple.
A stands for apple, which is a red fruit.
B.
B, that's Mr. Tickle again. It looks like Mr. Tickle is kind of giggling to himself. Like, just like, ha ha ha. Yeah, Mr. Tickle is funny. So B, So we'll just follow this prompt again. So we're just gonna make our way down like this, and kind of do a little circle to connect it. There you go. That's the letter B. B
Biscuit.
stands for biscuit. Next up is the letter C, and that's Mr. Tall again with the long legs and the cool shoes. It looks like he's walking somewhere, which I'm to be sure, because his legs are so long, it'll probably take him like 3 steps to get to where he wants to go, I'm sure. So C, it's very similar to an uppercase C, but it's just kind of shorter. So it's a lowercase c. So I'll just follow the prompt again, just like that, and that is a C. And C stands for cake. Yummy. D, that's Mrs. Little Miss Hug. And it looks like she's actually she's reaching out to hug somebody. I don't know who, but I would appreciate a hug, Little Miss Hug. So, hit me up. So D, it's actually very similar to a B, except that it's just the circles on the other side. So we're gonna draw this one line down here, and the circle, instead of being on the right like a B, it's on the other side like a D. Just like this. That's letter D.
Daisy.
And D stands for Daisy. E. So E is Mr. Strong, and you see how strong he is, right? He is on his hands upside down, which I can't do a handstand, so I'm not strong enough. If you can, that's good for you. Holy moly, I can't. I cannot do a handstand at all. So that's the power of Mr. Strong, I guess. So E is actually very similar to a lowercase c, except there's like a little line in the middle. So I'll just follow the directions here. So there's this arrow. I'm gonna go like this in the middle, and I kind of do a loop around. That's the letter E.
Eggs.
And E stands for eggs. F, that is Mr. Happy again. He's looking very joyous right now. So in F, there's a little hook on top that goes down, so I'll just follow the line, and then a little cross in the middle. That's the letter F. And F stands for flower. That's G. This is Little Miss Tiny again, and she's looking upward. I guess she maybe saw like a bird or an airplane or something. She's like, oh, what is that? So the letter G. So a lot, if you can tell, a lot of these letters actually have a lot of circles or part circles involved with the letters. So we're doing a bit of a circle again, a little loop, and then we make our way up, and then we stroke down, and then it's kind of like an A, as you can see here, but then you kind of make your way all the way around and kind of do a bit of a little curve, just like this. That's letter G. And G stands for grass, and which is kind of funny because Little Miss Tiny is looking up when grass is at the bottom on the ground. Little Miss Tiny, come on. H, that's Mr. Grumpy again, and Mr. Grumpy before was looking very mischievous, and he was up to something. And this is the Mr. Grumpy I know and love, very angry and upset about something. Something annoyed him, I'm sure, Mr. Grumpy. So in H, so you just draw one line at the bottom here, and then you kind of do a bit of a hump down, just like this, H. And that stands for hat. Next up here is Little Miss Bad again. So I'm just going to draw one line down, just like this, and then I'm just going to draw a dot on top. It's a very easy letter, actually, letter I. Dot. And I stands for ink again. Next up, that's Mr. Cool. He is very cool, like we said. His thumb, he's like walking away with 2 thumbs up. A J is very similar to an I, so you kind of just go down, do a line, but you kind of curve it, like what we did the letter G. Just like that, and then we just tap we do a dot on top. There you go, that's the letter I. Or sorry, letter J, and J stands for jet. Next that is Mr. Silly. He doesn't look very silly right now though. He looks like he just asked a question or something. He's kind of like, ooh, what is the answer to it? How do I draw the letter K? Well, I'll show you, Mr. Silly. It's actually very similar to an uppercase K. So you just draw down, and then you do one line here, and then one line at the bottom here. So that's the letter K. And K stands for king.
L.
Great. Next up here is letter L, and that's a little Miss Shy, who looks very shy right now. She's kind of like hiding, like, oh no, I'm so nervous. So the letter L, lowercase, is easier than the letter I. So you just draw a line. That's the letter L. So I'll show you guys. It's very complicated. So you just draw the line down, and that's the letter L. Very easy.
Letter.
And L stands for letter. Next up is letter M, and that's Little Miss Princess again. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So similar to an uppercase M, but uppercase M, if you guys remember, had points. These ones have the curves, and they're a lot shorter. So I'll show you. So we're going to do one line down, and we're going to do a curve like this, go down, and then another curve, and go down again. That is the letter M. And M stands for milk. Which I can't drink actually because I'm lactose intolerant, but I know a lot of people who drink milk. Helps with their bones, helps with their growing bodies. Next is the letter N. That's a little Miss Chatterbox who seems surprised that she saw something. Maybe she saw the milk and was like, oh, I should drink the milk now or something. The letter N, very similar to the letter M, but it's one less curve. So it's just one curve. So I'm going to go one down, and then another one just like this. That is the letter N. N stands for notebook. O, that's Mr. Funny again. Looks like he is dancing, or just enjoying his time. He's just being himself. An O, lowercase, is very similar to an O, uppercase, but just smaller. So it's just a smaller loop. So we'll just follow this prompt again. Boop, 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 boop. That is the letter O. And O stands for orange, which is also in the shape of an O, actually. It's round. A P, that's a Little Miss Sunshine again. Looks like she is either running away or just jumping and laughing. She's just having a good time. She is, like I said, a ray of sunshine. A P, so it's kind of like an upside down D, now that I kind of picture it now. So you just draw a line, and then there's a little bit of a circle on top, on the right. So just like this. That's the letter P.
Pen.
And P stands for pen, and that's a purple pen, which also starts with letter P, purple. Next is Q. That's Little Miss Curious, and looks like she just maybe asked a question or something, which is what letter Q stands for. Maybe she's just waiting for the answer, like, oh, that's why the grass is green. I don't know. Ooh. Although, if you do know Little Miss Curious, just let me know, because I don't know why the grass is green. Q, so it's very similar to a P, but the other way. So you draw a line here. Oops, so you draw the circle on top first. That makes it easier. So you draw a circle, and then you stroke down, just like that. That's the letter Q.
Question.
And Q stands for question. We're almost done the alphabet, guys. So the letter R is, that's Little Miss Giggles. It looks like she's giggling there, which is good. It's like, oh, laughing. And R, so you just draw one mini stroke down like this, and then you kind of do a little bit of a curve on top like that. There you go. That's the letter R. And R stands for ribbon.
Ribbon.
Ribbon. R is for ribbon, like what's on Little Miss Giggles' head.
S.
And that's Little Miss Naughty. We have an S, and that looks like she did something bad. Like she just did something naughty right there, and she's just grinning because it's super funny to her. Little Miss Naughty. An S, very similar to an uppercase S, but again, it's a lot smaller. So we're going to draw this one line here and curve it, and then curve it back up. That is the letter S. And
Stick.
S stands for stick. T, again, my favorite character, Mr. Greedy. Looks like he just ate something, and his stomach's either like grumbling, or he's actually about to go eat something. He's like, oh, I'm so hungry. So T, we're just going to follow the prompts right here. So we're going to draw this line down and kind of curve up, and then a little cross in the middle. That is the letter T. And T stands for toast. Maybe he's going to finally have his toast.
T is for toast.
T is for toast. There you go. I'm going to drag this over. And then next up here is the letter U.
U.
And that's little Miss Stubborn. I think she's saying, stop. I'm right. She always has to get her way. Little Miss Stubborn, come on. So a lowercase u is kind of like an N upside down, a lowercase n, if you guys remember what that looks like. So u, we're going to just do a bit of a curve up, and then we're going to just stroke down. That's the letter U. Whoop, whoop. And U stands for unicorn.
U is for unicorn.
U is for unicorn. So we're going to just drag this over. Oop, there she is. Next up is the letter V. V, and that's Mr. Messy. Looks like he's laughing about something. Maybe he's laughing at Little Miss Stubborn because she's so stubborn. It's hysterical, right? V, so it's kind of like an uppercase V, but just shorter. So it's just a smaller V. So here you go, and there's a point, and you bring it back up. That's the letter V. And V stands for van. So a van, like I said, takes passengers, takes products, takes things if you're going to a store. There's 4 letters left.
W.
Next is W, and that's Mr. Mischief again, just smiling and laughing. So I'm gonna. So a lowercase w is similar to an uppercase W, so it's just shorter. So we're just gonna draw shorter lines like this. Bam, 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 bam. And W stands for wizard. Wizard. Magical man, like I said.
W is for
there you go.
wizard.
3 letters left. So V, T, U, V, W, X. And this is
X.
Little Miss Scary again. Looks like she is scaring somebody. She's scaring me. She's a scary girl. So a lowercase x is similar to an uppercase X, just smaller. So I'm just gonna draw another cross, just like this. Boop, boop, X.
Xylophone.
And X stands for xylophone. Next up is
X is for xylophone.
bring that in. So 2 more letters left. Next is the letter Y.
Y.
And that's Mr. Daydream. Maybe he's daydreaming right now, actually. He's kind of like, I wonder what life would be on Mars. What would that be like, you know? So, he's dreaming about something out of this world, I'm sure. So Y is similar to a V, and it's similar to an uppercase Y, but instead of drawing the line down, it's more curved to the left. So I'll show you. So it's just like this, and we kind of just draw a diagonal line, but all the way down. That's like that. That's a Y, and that's a yellow canary. Y is for
yellow canary.
Yellow canary. So we're at our last letter. If you guys remember what letter that is, it is the letter
Z.
Z or Z. So Z, that's Mr. Clever again, looking quite shocked. Whew. Like we're there at the last letter already. So Z, a lowercase z is very similar to an uppercase Z, again, just shorter and smaller. So we're going to draw a line like this, and then one last line here, and then the last line at the bottom there. That is the letter Z.
Zucchini.
And that's for zucchini.
Z is for zucchini.
Great stuff. That is for zucchini. And that is everything. We're back at the letter A again. That concludes this video here. I hope you guys learned how to do the ABCs, or learned how to write them and draw them and say them. We went through the entire alphabet, met all of our Mr. Men Little Miss friends. And yeah, that concludes the end of this video. Again, let me know who your favorite Mr. Men Little Miss characters are. Please, I told you mine. Mine's Mr. Greedy. He's just very jolly and happy and loves food, just like me. And leave your comments below. And again, if you guys do want to try Rooplay out, the link in the description is below. Until next time, thanks for watching, guys. It's Michael from Rooplay, and we'll see you later. Thanks, guys.